Then God blessed Noah and his sons and told them, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth, all the animals of the earth, all the birds of the sky, all the small animals that scurry along the ground, and all the fish in the sea will look on you with fear and terror. I have placed them in your power. I have given them to you for food, just as I have given you grain and vegetables. But you must never eat any meat that still has the lifeblood in it. And I will require the blood of anyone who takes another person's life. If a wild animal kills a person, it must die. And anyone who murders a fellow human must die. If anyone takes a human life, that person's life will also be taken by human hands. For God made human beings in his own image. Now be fruitful and multiply, and repopulate the earth." Then God told Noah and his sons, "I hereby confirm my covenant with you and your descendants, and with all the animals that were on the boat with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, every living creature on earth. Yes, I am confirming my covenant with you. Never again will flood waters kill all living creatures. Never again will a flood destroy the earth." Then God said, "I am giving you a sign of my covenant with you and with all living creatures, for all generations to come. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is the sign of my covenant with you and with all the earth. When I send clouds over the earth, the rainbow will appear in the clouds, and I will remember my covenant with you and with all living creatures. Never again will the floodwaters destroy all life. When I see the rainbow in the clouds, I will remember the eternal covenant between God and every living creature on earth." Then God said to Noah, "Yes, this rainbow is the sign of the covenant I am confirming with all the creatures on earth." The sons of Noah who came out of the boat with their father were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is the father of Canaan. From these three sons of Noah came all the people who now populate the earth. After the flood, Noah began to cultivate the ground, and he planted a vineyard. One day he drank some wine he had made, and he became drunk and lay naked inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw that his father was naked and went outside and told his brothers. Then Shem and Japheth took a robe, held it over their shoulders, and backed into the tent to cover their father. As they did this, they looked the other way, so they would not see him naked. When Noah woke up from his stupor, he learned what Ham, his youngest son, had done. Then he cursed Canaan, the son of Ham. "May Canaan be cursed. May he be the lowest of servants to his relatives." Then Noah said, "May the Lord, the God of Shem, be blessed, and may Canaan be his servant. May God expand the territory of Japheth. May Japheth share the prosperity of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant." Noah lived another 350 years after the great flood. He lived 950 years, and then he died.
Okay, so we're diving into Genesis 9 today, and wow, listeners were right. There's a lot more to unpack here than just a dove and an olive branch.
It's so much more than just the resolution of the flood, right?
Exactly. It's like we're seeing the world reset in a way. God's making a fresh start with Noah, a new beginning for humanity, but it's the rules that really get me, you know?
The ground rules God lays down, yeah.
Yeah, because they're not just for Noah and his family. They're like this blueprint for how we're supposed to exist in this new world.
It's the establishment of a new world order, in a way, a whole new way of understanding humanity's relationship with God and with each other.
A total reboot.
Yeah.
It makes you think, huh? And that's where the covenant in Genesis 9 comes in. I always find it amazing that God doesn't just make this promise with humans, it's with every living creature. What's your take on that?
Oh, that's huge. I mean, that one detail, it changes everything. It's like a complete shift from earlier ideas about humanity and our place in the world. We're not just at the top of the pyramid anymore. It's recognizing that all life has inherent value. And if you compare it to the covenant God made with Adam back in Genesis 1 and 2, there's a huge difference.
How so?
Well, Genesis 9 is all about stewardship, taking care of creation, not just ruling over it.
Right, and that's where that powerful symbol comes in the rainbow. It's a beautiful thing, sure, but it also reminds us of the destruction that came before.
Exactly. It's like the symbol of both judgment and mercy, right? It's saying, look, this new start, it came at a price, remember that, It makes you wonder, are covenants just about protection, or are they about mutual responsibility?
A two-way street.
Exactly. Think about other covenants in the Bible, like the covenant with Abraham. It wasn't just, hey, here's some land and descendants. It was also a call to action, go be a blessing to the world. This idea of mutual responsibility, of giving back, it's a huge part of these agreements.
That is really interesting. So we have this amazing moment of hope and promise with this covenant. But then Genesis 9 takes this turn, almost like a plot twist. It goes from this grand cosmic covenant to something much more, well, human. We were talking about this amazing, hopeful new covenant, this fresh start. And then, boom, we're reading about Noah, his vineyard, and, well, things get a little complicated.
It is interesting how quickly it goes from this really hopeful tone to this, well, kind of uncomfortable family drama.
It does make you wonder if it's trying to tell us something about human nature. Even with a clean slate, we're still prone to those same old mistakes.
It's a reminder that these ancient stories, they're still relevant today. We might not be building arks, but we face the same temptations, the same struggles as those who came before us.
That's so true. And in this case, it seems like the consequences are pretty severe. Noah puts a curse on his own grandson, Canaan.
Yeah, that's one of the most difficult parts of this whole story to grapple with. This curse has been used throughout history to justify some truly awful things. Slavery, oppression, all sorts of
Hard
injustice.
to reconcile that with the message of hope and renewal that we get from the covenant.
It is. It's a reminder that the Bible is complex. It's full of contradictions and challenges. It's not always about easy answers, but wrestling with big
with
questions.
them, yeah. And trying to understand how they apply to our lives today. I mean, What are we supposed to do with a story like this one with Noah and his sons?
That's the question, isn't it? And there are no simple answers. But for me, it's a reminder to be careful about the power of our words and our actions, the impact they can have on others, especially those who come after us.
Especially those who come after us. It makes you think about legacy and responsibility and how even the best of intentions can go awry. It's interesting how this chapter wraps up. We started with this picture of a world totally reborn after the flood, new beginnings, a fresh start. But as we get to the end of Genesis 9, what do we find? Noah dies.
It's like the chapter's bookended by endings, right?
Yeah.
The end of the old world, and then boom, the guy who led everyone through it,
Makes you
he's
think
gone
about
too.
what it all means,
It does. I mean, even with the clean slate, time keeps moving. Noah's death, it's a clear sign that pre-flood world, gone. It's a new era, and humanity's got to figure it out without
No more
him.
training wheels. It makes you think about how we understand our place in the world today. What do you make of it?
It's huge. This isn't just an ancient story, right? Genesis 9, it lays the groundwork for how we see ourselves with God, with each other, with all of creation. It's like, if we're made in God's image, what does that
questions,
even...
right?
Exactly. What are our responsibilities? How do we live up to this whole covenant thing when, let's face it, we mess up? Like Noah and his sons.
So much to think about. That's what I love about these deep dives. We always end up with more questions than answers.
The best kind of questions, though. The ones that stick with you.
Well, a huge thank you to you for exploring Genesis 9 with me. And to all our listeners, keep digging, keep asking those tough questions. Until next time, happy learning.